Hi, this is Jerry McLaughlin, co-author of the book Cold Wax Medium, Techniques, Concepts, and Conversations, and co-producer of Cold Wax Medium, a video workshop. Welcome to Ask Jerry and Rebecca, a video series answering all your questions about Cold Wax Medium. Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Ask Jerry and Rebecca. I'm coming to you from my studio in San Miguel. They just finished the work on the studio last week, and I spent the last couple of days unpacking. And today I prepped my first panels, so tomorrow will be my first day painting in my new studio, and I'm super excited about that. But putting everything together reminded me that since we published the book several years ago and there were some images of the inside of my studio, and since a lot of people now have seen the inside of my studio because of our video workshop, a lot of people over really 4 or 5 years now have asked me about my workstation setup. So I thought that today I would show you how I do that. And here's a picture of it to show you what it looks like. You can see I have a lot of surface area to work on and a lot of storage. And the setup is really nice because it's very easy to do, it's very sturdy, and it's quite inexpensive. The workstation is really just 2 shelving units from Home Depot put together into one single unit. So I'm going to show you that shelving unit from Home Depot. Here are some images. The shelving unit is made by Edsel, that's E-D-S-A-L, and if you want the link, you can just email me and I'll send it to you. Each of the shelving units that I bought, and I bought 2, is 72 inches high, 48 inches wide, and 24 inches deep. And the great thing about these units is that you can set them up as 2 freestanding shelving units rather than 1 tall unit. And in this image, you can actually see where they assemble it as a horizontal unit rather than a vertical unit. And one of the units will end up with 2 shelves for storage, and the other will end up with 1. In this image, it's clear that they're placed side by side, but you can also place them back to back if you want a square workstation. And as you can see in my studio, I have 2 full units set up in a 2 by 2 configuration, and this gives me about 32 square feet of workspace. And the next thing I did to make my work surface nicer is to put some plywood on top of it. So the shelving unit comes with the wood shelves, but they're just not that great to work on. They're good for storage, but they're not a nice surface to work on. So because it's 48 inches wide, you can just take standard 3/4 inch plywood and have it cut to 24 inches, and that will fit right down in the top of those. So if you just go to Home Depot and have them cut 4 pieces of the plywood, so you get 1 8 by 4 foot piece. If you just cut that into 4 pieces, that's your entire workstation surface. And most Home Depots will actually make those cuts for you for free, so you don't even need a saw. The shelves that you see on it are adjustable, and they give you a ton of storage. And this whole workstation costs around $200 to make, so it's quite inexpensive. For my palette, I use a piece of white tempered glass. Now, if you buy this from a glass store, it's going to be quite expensive. However, mine is from IKEA, and it's made for protecting the top of one of their dressers. It was about $25, I think, and it's roughly 48 inches by 16 inches, so plenty of space to work on. Now, IKEA changes their products periodically, so sometimes the sizes change and sometimes they only have clear glass. But even if all you can find is the clear glass, you can just put some white paper under it, and that's not a problem. The important thing when you use a glass palette like this, well, really there are 2 things. One is that the glass is tempered, and that's to make it harder. You want this glass to be really quite strong so that it doesn't break under the stress of use and scraping. And then the other thing is that you want the edges rounded and smoothed off so that you don't get cut while you're working. So I've had this palette for over 5 years, It's survived 2 moves, including this move to Mexico, and I love it. Unless something happens, I think I'll continue to use it forever. So that's it for my workstation. I hope that you found this helpful. And if you have any questions about this, please email me. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, bye-bye.